Hey guys, David with the Wholesalers Toolbox. In this video, I want to share with you everything I know and everything I do when it comes to driving for dollars, so you can consistently close between 3 and 5 deals every month just from your driving for dollars effort. So unlike most driving for dollars videos, I'm not going to start in the car. We're going to get in the car in a few minutes and start driving. But I want to talk to you about getting ready to drive for dollars and what thought needs to go into it. You can't just, hop in the car and drive up and down streets and randomly put notes on doors. You can do it, but it's not going to be effective. You need to go into it with more of a plan. You need to plot out where you're going to drive so you make sure you cover the area good and then move on to the next area after that. So let's hop over to the computer and let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, we're on my computer and you can see I've got the city highlighted here. But this week I'm going to drive for dollars in Redford, which is in the Detroit area. I'm going to print out a map of Redford, so I have it in my car. I highlight the the roads that are the border for Redford, so I don't drive into the neighboring cities. And I'm just going to work this in a grid pattern, and I'm going to start up here in the the top northwest corner of the city and just hit these little residential streets, work my way down this, the main road here, and then hop over and just start working the other side of it, systematically working all my way through the city, because I want to hit every street and I want to identify every vacant house. So then when I'm done driving for dollars and I leave notes on all these doors, then I can go back and have a list in DealMachine where I can send postcards and do follow-ups for all the houses that I left notes on. So you've got to identify your area. You have to print off a map and you have to be prepared and know where you're driving at. Now, when I go to the properties, I have this letter that I post on the doors of the properties, and it just says, "Dear homeowner, I've stopped by to leave this note today because I'm interested in purchasing your property if you are considering selling it. I'd buy the property as is and pay all the costs. That includes things like city inspection, closing costs, and title insurance. If you are interested in selling, please give me a call so we can talk. Thank you for your time, David Aaron." I've got a Google Voice number. And then I also have PS. I've made a video about your vacant house. You can watch it at vacantdetroit.com. Now, a few things about this letter. One, if you want to recreate this, I'll have a link for you so you can download it from the website. But the font is Brian Scratch. It's it's supposed to look like a handwritten font. I think it's probably one of the best handwritten fonts out there. I'll show you how you can download that also in the description on the video and on my website. But a note taped to the front of somebody's door is going to get read. Unlike a lot of people that teach you to drive for dollars and just write the address down and then go home and get on your computer and try to look up for the owner, a handwritten note on the door is going to have an unbelievably high open rate. I mean, just put yourself in the owner's shoes. If somebody came and taped a note to your door, would you open it and read it? And I'm going to say, if 99% of people, if not 100% of people, are going to open the note and read it, okay? Also, on my note, and you don't have to do this, you can, not do a PS or do any kind of PS you want, but I made a video and put it on a little website, and I want this to pique their interest. I want them to say, what kind of video did he make about my house? And I want them to go to that website. One last thing also for those of you that know me, know that my last name's not Aaron, but because of the Wholesalers Toolbox and because, people tend to, to Google you when, they see your name nowadays. I didn't want people to, to see that I'm a wholesaler. So I use my middle name on a lot of my advertising. Then if I write write an offer on the property, of course I'm going to include my last name on that. But here's the letter that I'm taping to the door. Okay. Now real quick, I want to show you the website that I put together, the Vacant Detroit website. And this is a really simple website that I threw together in a day on Weebly. This isn't like an Investor Carrot website or anything. I don't plan on this getting good, search engine optimization, but it's effective for my marketing to have people go here and, and see what I want them to see. So it's very clear. I'm looking for vacant homeowners because I want to buy their property. And it's spelled out really clear right when they look at it. Within a matter of seconds they know what I'm doing. And then here's the video I made about their property, and now I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it just is me explaining that I buy houses and why it might be in their best interest to sell to me, how I can help them out. So they can go there and watch that. And then just a basic website. I kind of hit the pressure points and talk about how frustrating owning a vacant house can be. Talk about if I'm a good fit for them, why selling to us might be a better option than, trying to fix it up and putting it on the MLS, and just all the basic talking points. If they want to talk to me about selling their property, they can click on the button and give me all the information so I know about it before I call them back. I have a little about me page. I leave out the wholesaling part of my career, but I give them a little bit of my background so they feel like they know me and they're a little bit more comfortable with me. I got this smiling picture of me, so they see I'm a friendly guy, and just a contact. So anyway, quick website. This costs like $12 a month, I think. And I think it will be effective in this marketing effort. So that's it. Let's hop back over to the camera, and I'll finish explaining the preparation work to you. Okay, let's talk about the supplies you need really quick. You need envelopes, and you need printer paper. Best place to get that for me, is Walmart. It's the cheapest. Also, I want you to pick up some blue painter's tape, and I want you to use this for a couple of reasons. You're going to use it to tape the note to the front door of the property, or a window if the property's vacant, someplace where it's going to be visible to to an owner coming by to check on the property. But you use the blue painter's tape because, one, it's very noticeable. From the street, you're going to see it, standing out, from everything else. And two is it's not going to damage anything. If you put the blue painter's tape on the door or on a window or wherever, a railing or anything, when they peel it off, it's not going to leave any glue. It's not going to leave any residue. It's not going to tear paint off or anything like that. So my secret weapon, use the blue painter's tape when you're putting up your notes on the door. And when we get out in the car, you'll see what I'm doing. So, all right, so you've got your map you've printed off. You've got a box full of letters that you're going to put on the door. And we'll grab one right here and I'll show you. Just says property owner on it. And you're just going to take the tape and you're going to just tape that to the front door. All right, so you've got that, you've got the tape. I would recommend a highlighter to highlight your map where you've been, a good pen so you can write down in a notebook the addresses you've been, or if you're going to use the DealMachine app, that will track the addresses for you, so you can just tag them in there. You don't need to make a list. But if you're not using DealMachine, I want you to use a notebook and write it down. And one last thing, you should probably have some business cards. But if you don't, the letters are right. And when I started driving for dollars, I used, my door letter as a business card. People would ask me for a card and I'd say, oh, I don't have any, but here, take the letter. It's got my number on it. But this time, because of the website, I put together a little business card that looks like a little Polaroid, and it just says Vacant Detroit on the front of it, and on the back side of it, it's got my contact information. So, you might want to do something like that if you copy the website. But that's it for getting ready really plan your route. Pick a city, pick a zip code, pick a hot area, and just, make a boundary of where you're going to drive, and don't just, haphazardly drive all over town. So when it works for you and it's effective, you can move on to the next area and the next area, and then maybe in 12 months work your way back to the first area and do it over again. And you have a plan and you're doing it strategically. So that's it for getting ready. The next step is to get in the car and start driving. So I will see you there. All right, we're ready to start driving for dollars, and I just want to go over what we're looking for. So when you're going down the street and watching both sides, you're looking at the houses, you're going to look for obvious signs that that house is vacant. So tall grass in the yard, it looks like just nobody's maintaining the house. You're looking for maybe no curtains or blinds in the house, and you can see through the house. Sometimes they'll have the blinds open and you'll see the furniture in there, but if you can see right through the house, of course it's vacant. You're looking for boarded up windows and doors. You're looking for mail coming out of the box and maybe flyers laying on the front porch. Stickers on window are another good indicator the house is vacant. Now if I spot some today, I'll show you, but there's two different kinds of stickers that you'll see on the door. One is going to be from code enforcement officers from the city or county, where they're going around and telling people, hey, you need to fix this, or your grass is too high, or whatever. So those are good stickers to watch for. Now the other stickers you see are from property preservation companies, and they'll typically be on the inside of the window, like the company's been in there and put the sticker on the window facing out. If you see those, chances are that it's a bank-owned property, and you might not even want to mess with it. You might just want to keep on going. So but the city stickers are good. Property preservation, not so good. All right. Electric and gas meters shut off. Now, I'm not saying go in the backyard and look at the meter, but if it's somewhere visible and you can see that, if it's an electric meter, they'll either remove the glass part in the middle or turn it to the side so it's not hooked up, and that'll indicate that the power's off. And on a gas meter, you'll see a brass lock over the valve underneath the meter, and that'll indicate the gas is off. So you might want to look for that. This is a big one, is just lack of personal items. If you go buy a house, there's no cars, there's no garden hose, there's no furniture on the porch, there's no hanging plants. The house just looks like it's void of any personal items whatsoever. That's a good indicator that it's a vacant house. So watch for that. And then if it's winter, you just if it's snowed, or recently there's no tracks in the driveway, there's no carbon going in and out of the driveway, or you see that the walks haven't been shoveled or whatever, also another great indicator. So that's what you watch for when you're driving for dollars. And trust me, after you've been out for a little while driving, it'll get, you'll be able to spot a vacant house from a half a block away, and it'll get real easy for you. So get out, start driving, and as you go, it'll get quicker and faster for you. So I'm going to start my DealMachine app and start driving here, and I will check back with you in a little bit and show you my progress. This is obviously something going on here. There's a dumpster out there. Who knows how long it's been there, but this house is obviously vacant and full of garbage, so I'm going to go put a note on this one. All right, here's another thing I didn't even think about telling you, but it's a great way to spot vacant houses. If you happen to hit a street on garbage day and there's a house that doesn't have the cans out, that's a good indication it's either vacant or the people are away. But lots of times, the garbage won't be out, on a house that's vacant. So just wanted to point that out. Here's another good example. This house, it's garbage day. The garbage can isn't out. The weeds are going up in the driveway. There's a flyer in the front door there. This looks like it could potentially be vacant. Could be vacant. So I'm going to go stick a note on the front door of this one. I also heard the smoke detector chirping in that house. That's also a pretty good sign that maybe there's nobody there. This is how you drive for dollars, up one street, down the other, and you just keep doing it. Keep building your list, putting notes on the door, and then you can follow up with a postcard or an email or if you skip trace them, or just regular mail, or however you want to do it, but you just keep covering the ground. This corner house looks vacant. The backyard's all overgrown. Doesn't appear to be a trash can out for garbage day. Maybe a note on the door. Go check it out. A lot of people think about getting into wholesaling or into investing, and they think, there's so many people at it. There's so many wholesalers and there's so many investors. Maybe it's too late to get into the game. And I'll tell you, really, there's always been a lot of investors in the game, and if you think about it, at any given moment in time, there are thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in houses that are tearing them up, that are getting behind on their taxes or whatever. And if they're not vacant this week, they're possibly going to be vacant next week or next month. So there's never going to not be a supply of vacant houses or motivated sellers. This is always going to be a business as long as people are living in houses. Until that changes, this is going to be a market. So if you're hesitant about getting into wholesaling or investing because of that reason, don't be, because it's going to be around. I'm adding this property to my list here. I don't know if it's vacant or not. It's certainly overgrown, and the trash can in the backyard's got stuff on it and doesn't look like it's been moved out, for this week for garbage. So I'm not going to go put a note on it because, you don't want to aggravate somebody if they live there. But I am going to put it on my list and mail to them and drop them a postcard. So. All right, I like this one a lot. You can see there's no curtains in it. You can see right in it some weeds hanging from the gutter there. Gutter's falling down a little bit, but I like this one. This is a nice little brick house. So let's go put a note on this door. Every time I do that, and every time I put a letter on the door, I'm going into my DealMachine app and marking it as vacant. Off to the next one. I was looking to see if it was vacant. Oh, no. No. Just looking to see if that house was vacant. Okay. Thanks, man. Guy sitting in his front yard saw me slowing down to look at the house, and he thought I was looking for a lost dog or something. That's why it's always good to have business cards with you, or the letters or whatever, because if somebody sees you driving around, ask you what you're doing, driving really slow, staring at houses, you can give them a letter or a business card and explain what you're doing. Just passed another vacant one on the other side of the street, but I could tell they're working on it, so I'm not gonna swing back. I think that one's somebody already gobbled that one up. And that's what's great about wholesaling, is there's a lot of house hungry investors out there waiting for you to bring them a deal. All you have to do is get good at finding them. So wholesaling's about marketing. It's about getting really good at finding the properties. And the thing that a lot of people leave out is the getting really good at negotiating a price. And we'll do a video on that, specifically on that. But you've got to, when you go look at a property and you make somebody an offer, you can tell they need to get rid of it. It's torn up, and they just don't want it anymore. You have to be able to make an offer and go in low, and that bothers a lot of people. They don't want to insult the owner, or they don't want somebody to get mad at them, and you really have to get over that. You've got to develop the skill to be able to justify to somebody how come your price is coming in so low. They might have a house on a street like this where houses are selling for $80,000-$90,000, $100,000 if they're all renovated, and they might say, what do you mean you're only offering me $32,000 for my house? Well, you have to explain that the roof's bad, that the kitchen and the bathroom have to be gutted and renovated, and go through the list of items with them, and just say, all these things cost money, and not only money but time. It's going to take a couple months, 3 months to totally renovate this house and get it to the level where it can be worth $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. So because I have to do all that work, and because I have to put all that money into it, there's I can't offer you market value. I have to offer you what it's worth as it sits. And if you put it all on paper and go through it one by one with the owner of the property, they know, they get it, they understand where your logic is. They might not want to accept it, but they'll get it, and then some people will surprise you. I've had people, I'll ask them what's the lowest they'll take for a house, and they'll give me a number lower than I was going to give them. So people will surprise you. But you have to get over the fear, and the only way to get over the fear of doing it is to do it a bunch of times. It's the only way. Go look at a house. People are scared to go look at houses or to call somebody selling a house, and don't be, because they want to get rid of it. They don't care if it's your the first house you're buying, or the 200th house you're buying. They just want to get rid of it. So go in, just say, hey, I'm new at this. This is my first property I'm buying, my first investment property, but I saw your house. I really thought it would work good for me, or I buy 2 or 3 a year, whatever. They don't care. Just tell them you haven't been at it long, but you like their house, and you want to make them an offer, and that's it. And don't be nervous doing it, or don't even be nervous to go look at a house and not make an offer. Walk through it, and and thank them, and say, what, I'm gonna mull it over, and if I decide to do something on it, I'll give you a ring, and that's it. But just get used to going and looking at them, and get on Craigslist and find some for sale by owners, and just spend a weekend or a couple weeks just making appointments and going and looking at houses, so you get comfortable with it, and you're not you don't have that fear of talking to somebody about their house anymore. And once you get over that, then start making offers on things, and start making lowball offers, lower than you think it's worth, and just get in the habit of making really low offers on things, and then you'll get used to that, and before you know it, people are going to start accepting your lowball offers, and you're going to have some great wholesale deals that you can take to your list of investors, and start making some money. There's a good little one over here. That's obviously empty. So you got some newspapers laying on the porch. There's no garage door. There's no drapes. This one's, the grass hasn't been cut, so this one's pretty obviously empty. So I'm going to go stick a note on this one. Be right back. This is also in the corporation. It's funny, it's got the, in DealMachine, I've got some vacant lists loaded up, and it's actually got the one next door it marked as vacant. And just like that, we've added another one. Another thing that will you'll notice with if you buy vacant lists or you have PropStream or RealFlow or any of the data feeds is that a lot of times in these neighborhoods they'll have a listed as a vacant property, and you'll go and it'll be a vacant lot because they've ripped the house down. So this would probably be a good example of that right here. This vacant lot here. It's probably on the list as a vacant property because it is vacant. All right, guys, well, I'm going to keep at this for a while, and I will see you back at the computer, and we'll go through the leads. Hey guys, back in the office. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor real quick though. If you're still with me on this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. That way when I put out new videos, you'll be notified of it and I'll get more views on the channel. So that'd be great. All right, now let's talk about the list that we built from Driving for Dollars. If you've been out driving for dollars, you've got a notebook full of addresses, or if you're using the DealMachine app, you've got them all loaded in there. Now, if you've got a notebook full of addresses, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the county website and go to the tax assessors portion of the county website and start looking up the owners on these properties. Or you can use an app like a DealMachine. You can use a RealFlow, you can use PropStream or any of them to look up properties. But if you're not using any of those systems, you would go to the county tax assessor's website, look up, get the tax billing address. If it's different from the property address, that's where you're going to send it to. If it's not different, you're going to have to skip trace and try to find out where the person went, because you can't mail to a vacant property. Okay, so that's how you do it if you've just got a list written down on a paper. Now, if you've used DealMachine like I did, we're going to go into the DealMachine app and go ahead and send postcards to everybody on our list. So let's hop over to the computer and do that right now. Okay, guys, we're in the DealMachine app, or not the app actually, on the desktop website for DealMachine, which looks pretty much just like the app. But we're in the leads section, and that's where all the leads are in my DealMachine account. So we want to filter these leads by lead status, and we're going to go pending approval, and that's all the leads in DealMachine that I haven't started marketing on yet. So we're going to hit pending approval and click use selected, and it's going to bring up all those Redford properties that we went by. Okay, now what we want to do with all these properties, I've gone through this list, and there were a few banks in here, Bank of America and some different ones, and I deleted those properties because I don't mail to banks, because you're not going to do a deal with a bank that way. But I've deleted all those out of the corporate owned properties. So I've got a list of just properties that are owned by individuals or corporations that aren't banks. Okay, so we're going to select all the properties. So you click there, and we're going to select all 283 properties. Okay, and I'll show you real quick. We want to go in here to the mail template, and we want to select Redford on all of these because I did a specific template for each of these properties. So I'm going to click on Redford and click use selected. All right, and let's go into one real quick. Go in here, and it's going to bring up my template preview. I think I can open this and show you. But this is what I'm doing. This is what it looks like. And I showed you the website for the vacant properties. So the postcard's going to read, is your property vacant? And then your property at 19910 Woodworth is on the USPS vacant list. And if you're interested in selling it, I would like to speak with you. Take a minute and check out the video I made about your property at vacantdetroit.com. It's got my signature, my phone number, website, email address. So this is what the postcard is going to look like with a picture of the property that we drove by. So that looks good. Let's back out of that. All right, so we've got all of the properties selected, and we're going to start mailers on these. So we're just going to click Start Mailers, and it's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to start it on all these properties, and I'm going to say, yep, let's start it. And boom, I'm done. And these are all going to change to with marketing now. So I'm not going to have any more properties with the that aren't in marketing. And now with DealMachine, it's going to take, for them to process this and get them into the mail. It's going to take about a week or so to get them out, but then they'll start hitting, and then I'll start, getting phone calls on it. So this is how I do my driving for dollars. I go out, I prepare, I pick an area, I go out and I drive that area, get the properties into DealMachine, leave my notes on the door. I get back to the office, a week or two after I've done, got all the properties done, and get these out into the mail. And that's my system. So let's hop back over to the camera here. All right, guys, let's finish this up. Driving for dollars, in my experience, is the best way for you to find motivated sellers. There's a lot of other ways out there, and I'm not knocking any of them because they all find motivated sellers. You can send a ton of mail. You can put out a ton of bandit signs. You can run Facebook ads. You can run Google ads. You can, sit on the phone all day and make cold calls. So anything you do in volume is going to work. But I want to do the work that I do. I want to be most effective. So if I go out and build a list of houses I know that are vacant, and I know there is a greater likelihood of them having a motivated seller, it's going to work better for me. It's a more targeted list. They've already got a note from me on the door. Now I'm going to follow up with postcards, and I'm not mailing to thousands. I'm mailing to a few hundred. And it's just going to work better, and it does work better, consistently works better than all the other methods. So if you're not virtual wholesaling, because if you're virtual wholesaling, this doesn't work unless you add drivers and have them go out and do it. But if you're working your own market and you're looking for a system that works the best, do this. Drive for dollars, put them in DealMachine, send them postcards, and you will close 3 to 5 deals a month if you're doing this consistently. You can't do it for 2 days and then be done with it. You have to do it consistently. So that's it. I just wanted to walk you through the whole process. If you want to get anything that I mentioned in this video from start to finish, any of the lead systems, or the the DealMachine app, or want to know what I use for the tape, or for taping notes on doors or whatever, I'm going to put it all in the description. So just look below. There's a little arrow where it will drop down the description of the video, and I'll have it all listed in there for you. So that's it. I hope this helps. I know it's a long video, but I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, also let me know in the comments. Comment on the video and let me know what you thought. So that's it for this video. I'll see you again soon. Bye.